What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Now, I would like to start this video off by saying, I fucking figured it out. I got the knockback code to work. It's amazing. My life can finally be complete. I can go to bed. I can sleep at night. It's great. I've never felt so well rested in my life. Last night was the best sleep I've ever gotten. Now, continuing off that point, in this video, I'm just going to kind of explain how I figured out the knockback problem, a few other things I'm doing, and kind of what I'm thinking about for the future. The short answer to my problem was I was being a dumbass. And, you know, that's typically most of the problems I have in my life is I was being a fucking dumbass. So what exactly happened was I was scouring on YouTube once again, and I came back to rewatch this short I had watched many times on how to do knockback. It's by this girl named like Buzzy something YT, I don't know. But she's like a Roblox creator, some sorta. I'm actually not quite sure what her platform is. I'm pretty sure her platform is TikTok, but someone stole her content and posted a YouTube short. I don't really know. Whatever. Now, Buzzy YT, she just basically made this YouTube short saying, hey, this is the knockback code, and this is how you add it onto a tool. And the way this knockback code works is that when you click the button near a player and the tool touches a player, that player gets sent back. And I was like, that's literally what I need. Now, the problem with this YouTube short, and I figured it out once I fully watched it, is that the code was cut off. There was a long strand of code that was very important, and it was cut off from the frame in this YouTube short. So you didn't get the full code. And I got so pissed because I didn't know this at the time. I was like, why is this not working? Why is this not working? And so I was like, okay, maybe she might have another video where she did this. And I listened to the YouTube short again. And within this YouTube short, she mentioned how this is the same exact code as a video I have done before. And I was like, okay, where's that video I did before? So, but with this YouTube short, there was something very important, which was the code that basically allowed you to run the knockback without clicking on a player. It was basically a code that says, hey, the tool has to touch a player in order for knockback to work. In this video, though, that she mentioned, that wasn't the case. It was like two different complete codes for how the knockback was activated, but the knockback code was the same exact thing. So what I did was I found this other video, and I found that exact code. I found the entire code, the full code, copied it down, and then I went back to the YouTube short to copy down the mouse clicking code, and boom, I had my knockback code. The first thing I want to show you is the knockback on the base stick. I'm just really proud of this because it took a fucking long time. I'm also going to show you guys the code later, go over it, you know, cite my sources and stuff. But for now, base stick code. All right. A bot. It knocks him back. You can also, if you hold it, yeah, just a bot. It does it. And then watch this when they die. They just fly the fuck over there. It's amazing. I love this so much. Wait, hold on. Where the fuck did this guy spawn in? Hello? Where are you? Oh, he's all the way on the other map. Actually, this is a good moment to show you what I did with Mom Slipper. Now, Mom Slipper, it's going to be amazing. This is a god item, okay? And when I mean god item, I mean god item. What this does is that when you click it, when you use it, it will give you speed. It will add 25 to your speed, okay? And let me just show you what I mean by that. Normal walking speed, Mom click speed. Click it again, Mom. Boom, boom. I'm just infinite speed. I am too quickly. Now I did put a really quick cooldown on this, so it's basically that you just have to keep clicking. Because I didn't want this weapon to be so overpowered that you can just click it and then, you know, not have to do anything. So if you want speed, you're going to have to keep clicking the screen. But it's overpowered regardless. And then also, I added a lot more knockback to this weapon than I did the base stick. And this is what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to need to find that guy again just to show you exactly how the knockback looks like because that didn't quite work out. Here, let me just... Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so here, how about we do base stick, right? Mom Slipper. Yep, there is a significant difference in Knockback, in my opinion. So this is the code. This is where I got it. And then there's another code you have to do, which is basically what this code says is that you're not activating the Knockback by a mouse click. You're activating it by touching your opponent. And that one would be, I think, right here. Yeah. So this is the actual Knockback code. This is the one to avoid mouse click. It just took fucking forever. Well, not fucking forever. Once I figured it out, and once I figured out that the code worked, all I had to do was play with the numbers a tiny bit, and I got it how I liked. And I am so happy that this is completed. It's been a hell of a journey trying to figure out this Knockback. Another thing I would like to talk about real quick is last video I did mention adding Ragdoll into my game. And I played with this idea a tiny bit, and in my opinion, or just what I've decided, is that I will not be adding Ragdoll onto the weapons. And my reasoning for this is that I just feel like it would just be way too hectic. If you have like 3 players on you and they're all hitting you with these knockback tools that also put you in Ragdoll for 0.5 seconds, it will just be way too hectic to play this game and not that fun. So I decided, hey, I'm just going to leave the Ragdoll bit for when you die. And I personally like that. It makes the death animations way more cool. You know, you die from a moving block, you die from a tool, you go flying in Ragdoll. But yeah, that was kind of the main thing I worked on. There was something else though, which was I worked on a thumbnail for my game. Now, my original idea for this was that I would go draw a thumbnail. So I was like, okay, maybe I should try to learn how to use digital art, whatever. But then I went to YouTube and I scoured a bit more, and I got inspiration from this one guy who was basically making his thumbnails in Roblox. What he did was he would make a game and he would set up a bunch of props and stuff and a bunch of characters, and he would just screenshot it on his computer, bring it to Photoshop, and work with it. And that's exactly what I did. Next thing I worked on was trying to get a thumbnail to my game, and let me show you what that means. So this right here is not what the original thumbnail was looking like. That is just a photo I took and I brought it to Photoshop and I made it look different. In fact, if I close this for a second and close this, and you know, you guys can ignore that for a second. These are 2 thumbnails I made. I originally made this thumbnail, which I might actually use for my game. I just think it kind of looks goofy. I might want to try it again. And then I also just took this photo as perhaps a loading screen. But for now, I just have this as the thumbnail. And then I want your guys' opinion on this one. I'm kind of thinking about it, kind of not. I might remake it. But let me show you guys how I made this thumbnail right here. We're in the exact position. So, okay, yeah, this is real fucked. I basically spawned in my character. I went over to this, I think I searched up R6 build or whatever. I don't know. I spawned it in somehow. And then I had to go to the properties of this, and I had to individually move around this character's limbs and stuff. And then I also gave it a stick. And after I had my character's limbs moved around, I just spawned in this giant platform from nowhere. And this is just a game, right? But I just built a thumbnail up here. And, you know, I like it so far. But this is just the process I went through to, you know, build the thumbnails. You spawned in some type of character. It can be kind of whatever. I would definitely watch more YouTube videos to try to figure out what character you want to spawn in. You position it however you want. You might want to get a background. So for me, it was like I wanted the character to look like he was hanging onto a cliff. So I spawned in a cliff and I positioned the camera kind of like this to make it look like that. And yeah, that's the thumbnail I have there. So for this video, that was basically the 2 main things I did, which was add Knockback to the tools and make a thumbnail for my game. I would also like to say something else, which is kind of what I'm thinking about in the future and what I'm thinking about for this next video. I'm pretty sure that this video is going to be the second to last video that I make for King of Sticks. And that is exciting and sad at the same time. The exciting part about it is that I am very excited to kind of move on to Unreal Engine 5 and start making a game on there, because I get to be more creative, I get to kind of do more my own thing, make less of a Roblox style game. The sad part is this journey is ending, which is, you know, every closed door is another open door, or I'm not sure if that's how the quote goes. It's like the ending of one journey is the beginning of another. I know there's a quote out there by someone, says something like that. I just don't know who it is. Whatever. Some important person. With this new game coming in mind, though, I have been starting to do a few things. One of them is I've been teaching myself how to draw, and I was just mentioning this for the thumbnail, but now I have motivation to draw for a completely different reason aside from a thumbnail. Maybe a thumbnail will be a helpful point in the future. But the reason I've been teaching myself how to draw is that for Unreal Engine, I want to be able to have drafts and sketches of characters. So when I make sprites, when I have ideas, I want to be able to sketch it down real quick, get a rough idea of it so that when I'm going to build a character in a game, I'm not just screwing around and not knowing what I'm doing. So drawing will be a very helpful tool that I'm currently learning. Actually, I can go get my notebook and show you guys a few things. Give me a sec. Okay, my only rule for me showing you guys these drawings is that you just don't bully me horrendously because of it. But here, let me just turn back. So this was my first drawing of just some guy. I don't really know what that's all about, but yeah, that was the first drawing, and I'm actually going to leave a link to this guy. His name is Draw Like a Sir, and that's just the videos I've been watching to teach myself how to draw. I know that wasn't a good example, but here, it gets a little bit better in my next one. So my next one, I was kind of focusing more on faces, and I was also teaching myself to draw body parts, which was what this is. It's just this guy, which his hair was inspired off Aaron Yeager. And then these are just me practicing how to draw arms, body parts, legs, stuff like that. I know it looks like ass. I need practice. Oh, and then over here was my first full body sketch. Just a rough draft, nothing much. And then over here, I drew a sad old man. I don't quite know. Oh, this is my practice for a 3/4 drawing. I need a lot more practice on that. And then I have a few more drawings on like scattered pieces of paper here and there. I definitely want to work more in this book on how to draw. But yeah, that's going to come together. All I really need for that is just practice and stuff, and that would be great. I'm very excited to learn more how to draw so I can draw characters and stuff. That would be amazing. Don't bully me horrendously in the comments, I swear to God. Last but not least is that my school, so here, I have a whole new story now, which is my school, I had a free period, right? There was a period in the day where I had basically when everyone else was taking class, that was my time to chill. That's kind of what a free period is at my school. But before the year started, I had signed up for a comp sci class, which is just computer science. They teach you how to code. And I was like, oh, that will kind of be perfect for what I want to learn right now. Now, originally, I didn't get into this class. I was actually on a wait list. But recently, the guy who had a comp sci during my free period dropped the class. So I got an email from, the teachers and stuff saying, hey, I guess Sir.JackDaw, we got a free spot for you. Would you want to join? And I'm like, it's like 2 weeks into the school. I don't really want to be behind on all this work. But then I thought about, how much I'm into coding and stuff. And, the free period I wasn't really doing nothing with anyway. So I was like, all right, I'll join the comp sci class. And so far it's actually been really fun. The comp sci class is going to kind of teach me how to code on my own, how to debug on my own, how to make my own code, etc. The only downside to that is that it's not going to be in C++, which is what I'm going to be using for Unreal Engine 5. It's actually in Java, which is another important code. That's actually not that bad to know. Minecraft was made out of Java. Other important video games were made out of Java. Important apps are made out of Java. Important websites. Important robotics code if I'm ever into engineering in the future. But yeah, I am very excited to be taking that class. So that's just another thing I have on my plate, on top of school, of course. But that's what I've been kind of doing. I think for now, in my next video, I definitely want to focus, or actually no, my next video for King of Sticks is just going to be my last video. And in this video, I'm just going to do a few finishing touches, add some buttons to the game, spread out some items in the game, make sure you only spawn with base sticks, maybe add a timer or something. The next video is going to be the last video where I just do a bunch of small shit that will make the game look good. And then yeah, I'll be done with King of Sticks, and that will be about it. And I have a lot of ideas brewing up here about what I want my next game to be, and we're to be starting to build on Unreal Engine 5, so I'm gonna have to do a lot more research on C++ and then also Java as well. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited to start building that game on Unreal Engine 5, start actually, thinking about it, and then once my drawing skills get up, I can start drawing sprites and characters. It's gonna be great. Now, honestly, I'm just talking at this point. I don't really know how to end this video. I guess I'm just gonna say, have a good night and good luck with whatever you're working on. Later. My camera about to die anyway, but I just wanted to show you that. Look at that beautiful light. It's just a pretty light. Anyway, my camera's literally about to die, so I'm gonna close it.